Mic check, mic check.
It's good.
Testing, testing.
It's good. Okay. All right. Happy Sabbath, family. Praise the Most High Yah for another Shabbat. Right? Want to praise Him and we want to make sure. Let's just try to lay our burdens down. I know everybody going through something. Some people multiple things, but the Lord is still good and gracious. Most High Yah is still in control. He's still doing His thing. Right? Through it all, He allowed us to be here on another Shabbat. So we want to thank Him for that first and foremost. Those who don't know, I'm Brother Al. This is my reader, Brother Bernard, coming to you on behalf of the Vineyard of Israel. In the name of the Most High God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, with a message on this true Sabbath day, the seventh day of the week. Thank Him for that revelation. All right, thank Him for just an opportunity to worship Him in spirit and in truth. All right, we have a message today entitled, Righteousness Exalted a Nation. Righteousness exalts a nation. Righteousness exalts a nation. That's an old proverb, right? Got that straight out the Proverbs. Righteousness exalts a nation, but on the contrary, we have some things that tear a nation down. All right, so we're going to do our best because, the Lord put on my mind to design this lesson to show us that He is in real life. People can't see Him outside of religion. What you mean? I mean, people can't see the Lord outside of Sabbaths. People can't see the Lord outside of feast days and, outside of dietary law, but the Bible is way bigger than that. God, He deals a lot with our human interaction, our social issues, and our social problems and our social structure and how we treat each other, and how society treat its people that it governs over, right? So the Lord got a big problem with wicked rulers, because a lot of time if the rulers are wicked, the people tend to be the same. If the rulers is righteous, the people tend to be the same. So if you notice, there is no ancient civilization still standing. Israel could have been the one and only righteous civilization simply because God gave them exactly what they needed for the nation to continue on forever. And had they did what He instructed them to do, the nation would have still been standing to this day. But they revolted and they rebelled. And they became just like every other nation, which we call Babylon the Great. Which is still the nation that we live under. Yeah, we stay in America, but the rules of Babylon is still ruling. And a lot of us, we still trusting in Babylon. Most of us, our trust ain't with the Most High. It's with the government. It's with our job. It's with whatever it is we can get and we can gain. That's why a lot of times we turn our back on the Most High to gain worldly accolades. We can't see Him in society. This is the only way my kids can make it. If they do this on the Shabbat, if they do that on the Shabbat, that's a lie. That's just not the truth. All right? The Most High, He ain't gonna never forsake the righteous. The scriptures can't be broken. Right? You don't lean not to your own understanding. That's fine and dandy when you come to that religious talk, Brother Al. You talking religion. No. You can't see God outside of religion. So hopefully we can try to put Him in place a little bit today. Right? So we're going to learn some of His ways, like equity. Right? That's equality. Like justice. Not saying that everybody going to have the same amount in the society, but a godly society, nobody's going to go without. And that's what He gave the nation of Israel on Mount Sinai. But we got another way we chose to do things as mankind that's prevailing even right now. But let's go get this warning right quick. God gave us a stern warning about building a city unjustly. Let's go to the prophet Habakkuk, the second chapter, Habakkuk 2. And then we're going to see, because we got righteousness exalt the nation. We're going to go there after this. But first, we're going to need to see what brings it down. Habakkuk 2. Habakkuk 2. We're going to start at verse 12. And I want you to know, God is watching. He's watching our everyday. He's watching our day-to-day interaction with each other. He want to see, did you pick up on the ways of Babylon the Great? Or do you carry the lesson of the law with you everywhere you go? Habakkuk 2, we're going to read one verse, verse 12. Because we're dealing with nations. We're dealing with government a little bit today. Right? We're dealing with the society, the social society. Right? And he got a warning. And he expects his people to be a certain way. Just like him. And we got to think God is bigger than just religious rituals. So we got to think bigger than religious rituals. I'm talking a minute because it's taking us a minute to get to Habakkuk. Because we don't go there that much. It may be on me, but that's why I keep going. But now that we're there, we can let the Bible talk. Hearken to the scripture.
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
Look at that. It looks small, but it says a lot. What you mean build it? Now just think logically, right? How you going to build a town with physical blood? He ain't talking about physical blood. It's just like when you oppressing people, you breaking their back end, you robbing them, you stealing from them. It's like what they say. You killing me. But you know what the warning is? Woe to you who build a town after that manner. The Lord called it by blood because you stealing. You building it with violence. You robbing, right? Other people's life is expendable in order for you to gain. And truth be told, this is the way of Babylon. This is the way of every society in this world right now. Name me one of them. Yeah, I said Name me one of them that built their city righteously. Now. You know what that means? None of them. Talking to the scripture. Is that the truth?
Right.
That's the truth. And now. They twins. Twin towers. None of them built their city righteously. But the warning been in the Bible since Habakkuk the prophet was walking the earth. You hear me?
Right.
Even before that, but he wrote it down. So look at the one. Start over, Brother Bernard.
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
Yes, sir.
And established a city by iniquity.
So we stay in America. You know what happened? How did city get built? Off the blood, sweat, and tears of other people. You hear me? Did them other people get righteous wages? No, indeed. So you know what the Lord is telling you? However a city start out, that's how it's going to end. That's why the warning is woe to you that build a city with blood. So the Lord is interested in day-to-day life. Is that correct? One more time, Brother Bernard.
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
So I just need us to regroup right from out and now. But yeah, woe to him that build a city with blood. Yes.
And established a city by iniquity.
Oh my goodness. And establish a city by sin. What you mean? I'm glad you asked. Let's get an example. Let's go to Leviticus 19. Everybody think their way is right in their own eyes. Leviticus 19. Pick me up at verse 13. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor.
Yes, so this is part of building the city with violence and establishing it with iniquity, right, with blood. Thou should not defraud your neighbor. Don't cheat. You know why? Because the law teaches us that every man is made in God's image. Therefore, every man deserves to be treated with righteousness, with justice, with equality, with righteous judgment. But in the world, we've set people up higher than others. We'll treat them different based off how they look and what they got. That's a sin. But look what happened. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, because he made in God's image. Huh? Go ahead.
Neither rob him.
No, rob. What you mean rob him? Gunpoint? Nah, this subtle robbery right here. Go ahead.
The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night
That's
until
right.
the morning.
His wages, right? He working, his payment, you holding on to the payment. You say you shouldn't do that. Until when?
His wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning.
I mean, you mean to pay that man at the end of the day. Huh? Now we got every society is built robbing the people. We know this one. This one got rich off what? 200 or 300, 400 years of unpaid labor. It's coming down. I just want you to know it's coming down. The Lord see it. See? Don't act like he don't see it. Let's go Ecclesiastes 5 and 8. Because we know, we caught up in it, so we think the Lord ain't seeing it. Let's just stick to the religious part. No, we need to learn this portion too, because so we won't become oppressors ourselves. You don't have to be rich to be an oppressor. Ecclesiastes 5. Because the Lord just wants us to know, I see it. Don't think I don't see it. He going to deal with it at time according. Verse 8. Go ahead.
If thou seest the oppression of the poor, and violent perverting the judgment and justice of in a province.
See, you see that? If you see it, don't think the Lord don't see it. You see the oppression of the poor, and you see the violence, and you see people perverting judgment, right? So this, you know what? He on these topics because this is what man do every day. This is demonic in his sight. This is ungodly. This is unrighteous. This is wicked. So you thought wickedness was just not keeping the feast and not keeping the Shabbat and not keeping the wearing of the fringes and this and that. That's wicked too. But this is the real deal right here. This human interaction. How you deal with your brother whom you see every day, who made in God's image. It's real wickedness. Go ahead.
Perverting the judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter.
Right, don't even be surprised. This is pretty much normal, right? Go ahead.
For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they.
That's right. So basically, no matter who ruling what, the highest of the highest, he see it, and even the people that seem like they in the highest seat, it's somebody higher than them. And they're going to get rewarded too. That's what he wants us to know, so don't be surprised. But let's go over to the 7th chapter. Of Ecclesiastes. Why are we in Ecclesiastes? Verse 7. Go ahead.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
See? Oppression. Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Oppression maketh a wise man crazy, go crazy. Right? See, under the oppression it's a lot that come under the banner of oppression, right? It's like a tree. Right? Under the banner of oppression, you have covetousness, which causes you to steal and beat and cheat and rob your brother or your sister or your neighbor out of what's rightfully theirs. Why? In order for you to be esteemed up over them. Right? So basically it's the crab in the bucket mentality. Right? You pulling them, and if you got more, and you always preying on somebody that's weaker than you. Right? You got more knowledge. So the goal is to get your money from you. If I'm a leader, the goal is to get you to work for as little as possible.
Right.
Huh? So you know what I do? I determine how much it costs to run a household of 4, 5, and 6. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pay you bare minimum. You hear me? Not what you worth, not real wages, not what you worth. I'm going to pay you minimum wages. While all the time I'm receiving maximum wages. right? But in order for me to get maximum wages, I'm cheating you. I'm beating you, right? And then I'm making rules to draw more of your little money that you do have. So you can see, even a man that's wise will become angry and crazy and mad dealing with day-to-day oppression. All right? So the Lord is saying, he already know this. He said what? And you know what else come under the banner of oppression? Bribery. Right? Giving gifts in order to pervert judgment. All of this is under the banner of oppression. Right? This is some real life stuff. You think it don't affect me? You want to go to college? Guess what I'm going to do? Let's raise college tuition. Let's raise taxes. Let's raise the food price. Let's raise gas price. Let's lower wages.
Right.
This is oppression. This is what it looked like in the flesh. This is what God wants you to know. I see this, and I'm not with it. And you know what? I don't want you to take on that mentality of that oppressor, because you can be poor and you can be desirous of what he has, and you can start to beat and cheat your neighbor out of little stuff. You start to scheme, let's go half on the bottle, right? Sorry, terrible example. First thing came to mind. Let's go half on the bottle. He say, now you get it on the forehand, I'll get you back. Right. I say, all right, no problem. Boom. 2 years later, you got that for me? I ain't got it. You scheming, right? Instead of being straight up, you scheming, you dreaming, you beating and cheating, right? That's the best example I can come up with on the spot. Johnny on the spot, but go ahead. So oppression make a wise man mad, and
a gift destroyeth the heart.
Bribery, and that's what our society is full of. That's why you got so many innocent people going to jail. Huh? Bribes. And we got you getting passed over positions for somebody that's less qualified because they done slid a gift. Huh? And the one that got the power, he taking the gift, pushing you to the side. The position should be rightfully yours. You the most qualified for it. This person that slid the gift, they underqualified, but they gave the gift. You know what? I'm going to go with this candidate. You was more than what we was looking for at the time. You understand? How do that work out in the job? Overqualified. See, then you start to hear foolish terms like this. You overqualified. Well, why y'all sending us to school for all of this time if I'm just going to go to school and be overqualified? What sense does that make?
Right.
Oppression. This is an unjust society. This is Babylon the Great. This is every society in the world. This is their rules. This is their game. And the Most High Yah, he saw it coming. So he gave Israel, the nation of Israel, something that could debunk all this. Flatline it. Right? And that's what he gave them on Mount Sinai. The laws, the statutes, and commandments, they for building a nation, not religion. We think they for religion. No. He gave them on Mount Sinai was good for building a righteous or establishing a righteous nation. Because they going into a promised land, so he got to give them governmental structure. And he already looking at every society around them. Every society around them is already established on oppression. It's already established on beating and cheating and the few or the minority being rich and having all the resources and everybody else struggling. And you know what happened? It's still like that to this day.
Right.
And it ain't like the few. I'll be quiet if the few people really worked for the resources. They stole them, though. They ain't worked for them. They stole them, then they tell you pull up your bootstraps. Well, quit making oppressive laws. You know what I'm saying? Me and you get out here. Let's see who can do what the best. Put us on even ground. That's what I tell them, And I ain't going to fall short. Anyway, but the Most High Yah, he gave Israel something on Mount Sinai that would have alleviated all this. And had we kept going that righteous way, it would have been turning upside down from what we have now. Right? So let's go to the proverb right quick. Proverbs 14. I didn't talk too much already. Proverbs 14. I want y'all to see something. Verse 31. Proverbs 14 and 31. Hearken to the scripture.
He that oppresses the poor reproaches his maker.
You see that? Who is the creator? Who is the maker? That's the Most High Yah. Right? He created all man in his image. And he said, whoever oppressed, what this got to do with religion, Brother Al? Huh? What this got to do with religion? Say, baby, this in the Bible, this law. This is to help shape your mind to where you can become righteous. To where you can see you got work to do to change your mentality. To understand how God truly is. He more than Sabbath days and feast days. I keep telling you that.
Right.
He always for the cause of the poor, the stranger, the needy, the widow, right? And what he gave Israel would have been good for the whole world. And it still is going to be good for the world. So, but he wants you to know, he that oppresseth the poor, you reproach your maker. You hate him. Go ahead.
But he that honoreth him
You despise. But he that honor his maker, what?
has mercy on the poor.
Look at that. He that honor him have mercy on the poor. You know what happened when he told us in Matthew 25? When he came and he started to gather in his sheep, he gathered in the ones that kept the Sabbath. Huh? He gathered in the ones that kept the dietary. I'm sure they did that too, but that ain't what the Bible was emphasizing.
Right.
It was emphasizing the fact that you visited me in jail. It was emphasizing the fact that you had mercy when you saw me starving. When I was thirsty, you blessed my game. Huh? That's what it was emphasized. That's who the sheep were. You didn't oppress me. So how can I oppress the poor? Okay, James told us. Let's go read it. Hold on, finish this first. Let me bless this right quick. Finish this first. Y'all like that? I got a new word. Blessed. It's really an old word, but when the darkness. Anyway, go ahead, brother.
Go to 32.
Verse 31. Finish. Oh.
He that oppresseth the poor reproaches his maker.
That's right. But
he that honoreth him have mercy on the poor.
That's amen. Drop down to verse 34.
Righteousness exalted a nation.
You see that? Why is everybody trying to build a nation up on wickedness? Wickedness is what's going to bring it down. Righteousness is what's going to exalt. What you mean exalt? He mean once it gets set up and it's set up on righteousness, it can last forever. And that's why we don't have no nation, no ancient nation still lasting. America ain't going to be no different. They coming down, China, Japan, everything. Ain't none of them righteous. Ain't none of them going to stand for long. They going to run their little time, their little course, and they going to be just like the ancient civilization. And somebody else going to be telling the same story. But righteousness, if a nation ever become established upon righteousness, that nation will remain for good. People don't get it. Because wickedness is easier. Wickedness is fast. Fast money. Give me that fast money. But you beating and cheating and you stealing in order to. Mic check, but I'm back. Man, shout out signals. Trying to stop my mess. Praise the Lord. But what verse you at?
34.
Okay, let me hit 34.
Righteousness exalted a nation.
Righteousness exalts a nation. That's just the truth. And that's why we don't have no ancient civilization, because none of them was built on righteousness. And that's why the Lord he has taken every last one of them down. So how do you oppress the poor if you're not rich? Let's go to James 2.
You want me to finish this verse?
Oh, you didn't finish it? Yeah, after you finish that, go to James 2.
But sin is a reproach to any people.
That's right. Sin is a reproach. Because you're going to receive the wages of it. The wages of sin is death, physically and spiritually. Let's go to James 2 real quick. James 2. Verse 13. Go ahead.
For he shall have judgment without mercy,
Who?
that hath showed no mercy,
That's the truth. Yes.
and mercy rejoices against judgment.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
What doeth profit, my brethren?
Yes.
Though a man say he has faith
Uh-huh.
and has not works,
Right.
can faith save him?
Right.
If a brother or a sister be naked and destitute of daily food,
Uh-huh.
and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled.
And you have all the means to give them what they need. Yeah? But you tell them, God bless you. Go on about your issue. What happened?
Notwithstanding, ye give them not those things which are needful to the body. What do it profit?
What do it profit that person? What did they gain? Nothing. All right, go ahead.
Even so, faith, if it have not works, is dead being alone.
So you see that example he just gave us? That's how you oppress somebody, even if you poor. You got means to help them, but you choose not to. They came to you. The Lord sent them your way.
Right.
Well, the Bible says he that lendeth to the poor, lendeth to the Lord. So he that don't lend it, and when you have it, you don't lend to the Lord. Psalms 12. Psalms 12. Psalms 12. I need this. Psalms 12, verse 1. Psalms 12, verse 1. Hearken to the scripture.
Help, Yahuwah, for the godly man ceaseth, for the faithful fail from among the children of men.
That's the truth. You know why? Because sooner or later, the godly man, he get tired. He start following that multitude to do evil. He become oppressed, or they kill him after so long, right? If he stay faithful, he done made himself a prey. They gonna get at you. Go ahead.
They speak vanity, every one with his neighbor.
See, now what you're looking at is somebody that oppresses his neighbor. Somebody that defraud him, that don't treat him like they would treat the Lord, right? He said they speak vanity, every one with his neighbor. Yes, sir.
With flattering lips,
Uh-huh.
and with a double heart do they speak.
This how people cheat you out of your substance. This how lawmakers cheat you out of your substance. Huh? Go ahead.
Yahuwah shall cut off all flattering lips,
You see that? Go ahead.
and the tongue that speaketh proud things.
Uh-huh.
Who have said, with our tongues will we prevail, our lips are our own.
Yes.
Who is Yahuwah over us?
Right. That's how people think too. Who is the Most High over us? Go ahead. We rule in this world. Go ahead.
For the oppression of the poor, for the sign of the needy, now will I arise, saith Yahuwah.
Who said that?
Saith Yahuwah.
For the what he gonna rise?
For the oppression of the poor,
Uh-huh.
for the sign of the needy,
Yes.
now will I arise, saith Yahuwah.
That's right. So a lot of time when he take down a city, them cities be so wicked. The poor man be done cried out so much. He been done gave the leaders so many different warnings. Once he had enough, you know, I'm about to take this thing down. The people crying out to me. A righteous God deal with oppression. Go ahead.
I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him.
That's the poor man. That's the needy. The one that puffed at you is the one that was abusing you. The one that was you, the one that was stealing your wages, the one that was cheating you. The one that was making laws against you. Them the ones that they look down at you. They look down on you. So he said he gonna save you from that particular type person, the elite. Right? You finished that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go back to Exodus 3. We're finna get an example of the poor crying out. Exodus 3. We're going to use the example of the Exodus. verse 1. Go ahead.
Now Moses kept a flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian.
Right.
And he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of Yahuwah, even to Horeb.
All right. So when he came to the mountain of God, or Yahuwah, he saw the burning bush, right? So the Lord was introducing himself to Moses, this and that. Drop down to verse 6. Go ahead.
Moreover, he said, I am Yahuwah of thy fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac, and the Elohim of Jacob.
Right. So he said, go ahead. So what he's saying is, don't be thrown off by the words. It's just Hebrew for God, right? He's saying, I am the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And
Moses hid his face,
what happened?
for he was afraid to look upon Yahuwah.
Yes. But look what he's finna tell Moses. Go ahead.
And Yahuwah said, I surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Egypt.
He said he saw. Did he say what? He saw the affliction of his people, right?
Yes, sir.
Remember, they getting oppressed by the Egyptians, right? They were even they furthered the affliction, right? They even took away the little mortar from them and started making them get that on their own. Twice as much work with not as much resources, right? Doubling the affliction or so much. Go ahead.
Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows.
He said he know. He know all our sorrow. He see, sometimes it seems like it ain't no end to this thing, don't it?
Right.
But you got to be able to endure. Go ahead.
8. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hands of the Egyptians.
You see that? He said what?
And I have come down to deliver them out of the hands of the Egyptians.
Now you gotta keep in mind, when he came down, he used Moses and Aaron. He ain't come down in the flesh, but the intervention was so divine, you could tell it was nobody that could do this but the Most High, right? So he said it's just like he did it himself in the flesh, right? But he said, I come down to what? Deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptian. Right, that's what he said. That's what he said about he would deliver the poor and the needy from the haughty person. Right, go ahead.
And to bring them up out of that land unto a good land.
Yes.
And a large unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites.
Yes.
Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Yasharal is come unto me.
Right, so he said, now, behold, the cry of the children of Israel, that's Yasharal. He said, I heard it's coming to my ears. So once I hear it, I'm a righteous judge. I'm going to do something. I already had it written. Go ahead.
And I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them.
So he delivered them. He brought them out of Egypt. Let's go to the 19th chapter. He plagued Egypt with all of those signs and wonders. He said he brought forth his judgment against the Egyptians, and he freed the poor, the needy, the oppressed. That was Exodus 3. What verse did you stop at, brother?
3 through 9.
Okay. So let's go to Exodus 19. So he got them all out in the wilderness. He said he going to bless them. So basically going to turn they condition upside down. We'll start at verse 4. Go ahead.
Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself.
Right, so this is what the Lord has Moses reciting to Israel. You saw how I freed you from Egypt. And then said, I freed you to bring you to myself. Right, go ahead.
5. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed,
yes,
and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a particular treasure unto me above all people.
Look what he said. If you obey my covenant, right? Then and you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all the people. Go ahead.
For all the earth is mine.
Where we going to be?
And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation.
Yes.
These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Yasharal.
That's right. This is what I want you to tell the children of Israel. So let's go and see what did he say. Go to the 20th chapter. Pick me up at verse 1. We're going to run a couple of these things down. Go ahead.
And Yahuwah spake all these words, saying, I am Yahuwah thy Elohim, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of what?
Out of the house of bondage.
Right, because bondage, oppression, affliction, right? So I freed you from that. He said, I'm the Lord thy God, or Yahuwah thy Elohim, and I brought you from out of this condition, right? And I'm going to make give you some rules, and if you stick to the game, you're going to be a peculiar treasure unto me above all the people of the earth. So what I'm going to give you is going to bless you, right? Go ahead and read. Go ahead.
Thou shalt have no other Elohims before me.
No other gods before me? Yes.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images.
No graven image, yes.
Or any likeness of anything that is in the Shamayim above, or that is in the earth beneath.
Right, so he said, nothing that's in the heaven above or the earth beneath. Right, don't make no graven image. Verse 8. Go ahead.
Remember the Shabbat and keep it holy.
Yep, let's remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. So what he's blessing them with is even a day of rest from work. That's a blessing. People think it's a curse now. You know what people think? That's bondage this day. So Sabbath is bondage. It's when he freed them from bondage, why would he free them from bondage and then give them more bondage?
Yes, sir.
No, he freed them from bondage and gave them some freedom. Right, but matter of fact, let's see what he gave them. Go to Acts the 7th chapter. Acts 7th chapter, verse 37 and 38. And then we're going to back up to Deuteronomy 6. Acts 7 and 37. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. You got to work, but on this day you rest. Go ahead, bro.
37.
Yes, sir.
This is that Moses, which said unto the children of Yasharal,
what did he say?
A prophet shall Yahuwah thy Elohim raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me.
All right, so he said, a prophet shall the Lord thy God raise up from among your brethren like me. Him, that's the one I want you to listen to. But what else did it happen? Go ahead.
Him shall ye hear.
Yes, sir.
This is he.
Who?
That was in the church in the wilderness.
What?
That was in the church in the wilderness.
What happened in the church in the wilderness?
With the angels, which spake to him in the Mount of Sinai, and with our fathers.
That's what we were just reading. The 10 Commandments, which he gave him on Mount Sinai. What happened?
And with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us.
So he received the lively oracles upon Mount Sinai. So people running around here calling the lively oracles bondage and oppression. That's a backwards. You can see how it's flipped upside down. But they won't call work bondage and oppression. Right. But you will call a rest from work bondage and oppression. Right. You will call the lively oracles of God bondage and oppression. You will call a dietary law that he give you so that you can remain healthy bondage and oppression.
Right.
Why do you want to make me free from disease?
Right.
Huh?
Right.
This is ridiculous, God.
Right.
Nobody can keep that. I need that swine that's going to give me diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, antiphenogen. You know, that means whatever else that it is.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's et cetera. Right? But let's back up to Deuteronomy 6 and 25. Because not only was it the lively oracles, look what the Bible called it. Because remember what the title is, righteousness exalt a nation. Now, the world is telling you wickedness exalt a nation. And they want you to agree with doing wicked. Verse 25, go ahead.
And it shall be righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yahuwah thy Elohim as he has commanded us.
That's the ones he's giving away on Mount Sinai, the lively oracles. It's also called righteousness, right? So what he's giving them is so that the nation can be exalted, so that they can continue to reign. An ancient civilization that could have been remaining until 2020.
Right.
Still, right? Go into the 8th chapter. I mean the 4th chapter. Back up to the 4th chapter of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 4. Pick me up at verse 1. Go ahead.
Now therefore, hearken, O Yasharal,
Yes, sir.
unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you.
What's code name? What's the code name for these statutes and judgments? Righteousness. What else? Lively oracles. Right? And you know why he would do this? Because he's going to be in the midst of them. Right? He's going to be in the midst. He in the tabernacle of the congregation, his presence. So he giving them lively oracles. Right? We're going to show the world how to build a righteous nation. And you're going to be my people who I'm going to use to do this. And you're going to be a treasure above all the nations of the earth. Because you're going to be the only one that's established in righteousness. And watch what's going to happen when they see you, though. You finish that, verse 1?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
For to do them,
Yes, sir.
that ye may live,
And
go in and possess the land which Yahuwah thy Elohim of your fathers giveth you.
right, so you need these commandments, these statutes, these laws, so that once you get in the land, you know how to govern yourself.
Right.
I'm going to be in the midst, but this is to set up the whole government, to set up the nation. These are the laws of which the nation shall be ran. All right, so it's bigger than religion is what he's giving them. That's why he called the oracles of life. All right, go ahead.
2.
Yes.
Ye shall not add unto the word
Yes.
which I command you.
It's already perfect. Go ahead.
Neither shall ye diminish aught from it,
Yes, sir.
that ye may keep the commandments of Yahuwah of Yahuwah your Elohim, which I command you.
All right, that you may keep the commandments of Yahuwah or the Lord, thy God, right? That I command. Drop down to verse 5. Go ahead and read.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
So I've taught you them. It ain't like how this country's set up. You got to learn them as you go. You don't even know you don't even know them until you violated one. Huh? Nah. The Most High Yah, we're going to make sure we know this from the get-go. We're going to get a good understanding. This is a covenant or an agreement between me and you. You're going to know what I expect. Go ahead.
For I have taught you statutes and judgments.
What you mean?
Even as Yahuwah my Elohim commanded me.
Yes.
That ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
That's right. Go ahead and read.
Keep therefore
And
do them.
Yes.
For this is the wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
You see that? They're going to see you. They're going to see me blessing you. They're going to see you prospering. They're going to see my presence with you. They're going to be observing what's going on with you. And once they see you keeping these laws and these statutes and commandments, what they going to say?
Which shall hear of all the statutes and say,
Look, they're going to hear what you talking about. They're going to hear the statutes.
right.
And then once they hear you keeping these statutes, these laws, what they going to say?
Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
What? This is a great nation. Why they wise and understand? They understand how to set up a civilization. A righteous one. Go ahead.
For what nation is there so great who hath Elohim so nigh unto them?
How you get this up? How you get this up for the ways of Egypt? They gonna say, what nation is there? That means now. It ain't none. We're going to find out how these other nations are ran. But what he's giving them, righteousness. It was going to exalt it. So you see in the sight of the people, they're exalted. Huh? Do you see that? They exalted. Righteousness exalt this nation.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and finish that.
As Yahuwah Elohim is in all things that we call upon him for.
And how can you fail if you got Yahuwah in everything you call on him for?
Right.
You can't. Huh? How can you lack? You can't. Because he said, all the earth is mine. He told them that in Exodus 19. And you in everything? Just call up on him, he there. What else?
8. And what nation is there so great, that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law?
Look at that. You know what it's telling you? These laws, these statutes, these judgments are different from every other nation laws, statutes, and judgments. Now, other nations got their own laws and statutes and judgments set up. But you know what happened? They built their city on blood and oppression.
Right.
What nation? You the only one. All right, go ahead.
Which I set before you this day.
Yes, what I said before you this day, go ahead.
9. Only take heed to thyself,
Pay attention. Yes.
and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen.
Yes, and that's what happened when you start to increase. Forget about God. Forget about his ways. You start to feel like you did it. Go ahead.
And lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life.
What do I need to tell them?
But teach them thy sons and the sons' sons.
You know why? So we can continue this rally, right? No break in the righteousness. No break in the prosperity of this nation. Other nations gonna flock to you. They want to know what's going on. How you still standing after 4,000 years?
Right.
You the only. All the other nations done came and went. The Most High Yah done took them down. How you the only one standing? Because we got laws so great. Righteousness is out of nation. We got the Most High in the midst, because he only can be in the midst if we're in the midst of this righteousness. But go ahead.
10. Especially the day that thou stood before Yahuwah thy Elohim in Horeb.
Yes, sir.
When Yahuwah said unto me,
What?
Gather me the people together,
For
and
what?
I will make them hear my word.
Yes, sir.
That they may learn to fear me all the days that they shall live upon the earth.
And
that they may teach their children.
that's right. Leviticus 18. Leviticus 18:1. So that's what they would have said. A nation that is established upon equity and justice and righteousness and righteous judgment. A nation that look out for the fatherless, the poor, the widow. A nation where nobody goes without. A nation where the leaders are supposed to take care of the less fortunate. Without even looking down on them. You don't see that nowhere. Leviticus 18:1. Go ahead.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying,
What did he say?
Speak unto the children of Yasharal,
Uh-huh.
and say unto them,
What?
I am Yahuwah your Elohim.
That's right. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, I am the Lord your God.
After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, ye shall not do.
I don't want you to do after their way. You see, they got their own ways. They got their own ordinances and laws set up. Don't do it. Go ahead.
And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do.
Yes.
Neither shall you walk in their
You
ordinances.
see that? These nations got ordinances and laws, but I don't want you doing after theirs. We bringing in some righteousness, something new. Right? I already took down Egypt for blood and violence. Now I want to exalt a righteous nation.
Right.
So this is what I need you to do. Go ahead.
4. Ye shall do my judgments and keep mine ordinances, to walk therein.
Yes.
I am Yahuwah your Elohim.
Yes, sir.
Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments,
What?
which if a man do, he shall live in
You
them.
see that? Man, dude, you're going to live. This is the lively oracles. Go ahead.
I am Yahuwah.
That's right. And he went on and started naming some of them. We ain't interested in that, but he was with them, right? In the midst. And he gave them what they needed. But yet and still, after some time, Israel rebelled. Let's go to 1 Samuel, the 8th chapter. They had him in the midst. Now, true enough, the Lord, he's so righteous. He in the midst of his people. He punished them when they do bad. Right? And he let them prosper when they do good. He in the midst of them. When they transgress, he let some people come in and slap them around.
Right.
And when they do good, ain't nobody can touch them. All right? So now watch what started to happen. 1 Samuel 8:1. Go ahead.
As it came to pass,
What happened?
when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Yasharal.
Yes, sir.
Now the names of the firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second, Abiah.
Right.
They were judges in Beersheba.
Yeah, so they got the land, and they supposed to, walk after the ordinances and statutes that he gave them. They've been there for a while, but something started to take place. Go ahead.
3. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after Lucifer.
Filthy lucre. That's money.
Lucre.
You know what that is? Money you get unjustly. By violence, by robbing, by beating and cheating. I thought he told us not to do this.
Right.
What happened?
And took bribes and perverted
I
judgment.
thought he told us not to do that. He told us to give perverted. He told us to do righteous judgment. All right, go ahead.
4. Then all the elders of Yasharal gathered themselves together and came to Samuel in Ramah, and said unto him,
What they say?
Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways.
Yes, right. Your son, they foul. They ain't righteous like you. They sour. Go ahead.
Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
You hear what they asked for? We want you to make us a king. What type of king? Like all the nations.
Right.
So the Most High, Yah is their king right now. Watch what he gonna say. Go ahead.
But the thing displeased Samuel.
See, Samuel know better. If I make you a king like all of the rest of the nation, you know what's gonna happen? You gonna become all the rest of the nations.
Right.
This is his fear. Go ahead.
Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said unto Samuel,
What did he say?
hearken unto the voice of the people.
He said, go and listen to him. That's what they want, a king like all the nations. What happened?
In all that they say unto thee.
This is a crucial point in Israel's or Yasharal's history. It's a crucial point. Watch what he gonna tell them. You want a king like everybody else? Don't let them have him. Go ahead.
For they have not rejected thee, but have rejected me, that I should not reign over them.
You done rejected the highest king you could ever have. For a man king, like all the other nations. I got a better idea. Why don't you just leave Israel
Right.
and go into the other nations and let us keep this king we got?
Right.
But that just comes from thinking, if I was on the spot with them, I probably wouldn't have said that. But I'm just thinking out loud now of another solution, all right? But that ain't an option here. Anyway, he said, you rejected me. Go ahead.
8. According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them out of Egypt, even unto this day,
What happened?
wherewith they have forsaken me.
He said, they have forsaken. I still been having mercy on them, even since the days of Egypt. And after all of that, they still going to reject me. Go ahead.
And served other Elohim.
Yes, they serve other gods still. Go ahead.
So do they also unto me, unto thee.
Yes.
Now therefore hearken unto their voice. Howbeit, yet protest solemnly unto them,
Right.
and show them the matter of the king that shall reign over them.
Okay, so he said, go on listen to them, but protest against them. Protest solemnly, meaning let them know what type of king that they going to have. All right, this is what type of king that they're going to have. Go ahead.
And Samuel told all the words of Yahuwah unto the people that asked him a king.
Right, what he say?
And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you.
So this is the type of king you're going to have. Go ahead.
He will take your sons and appoint them for himself for his chariots.
Now, do you have any say-so in this matter? No. I'm going to take your sons, and they're going to use them for his own benefit. Go ahead.
And to be his horsemen.
Yes.
And some shall run before his chariots. And he will appoint him captains over thousands.
Yes.
And captains over 50s. And will set them to ear his ground.
Right, so he gonna till the ground with A whole lot of workers. Go ahead.
and to reap his harvest.
Yes.
And to make his instruments of war, and instruments of his chariots.
Yeah, they're going to be working for the king. That don't mean they're going to get paid, right? Might not get no righteous wages. Go ahead.
13. And who will take your daughters to be confectionaries.
Right, you ain't get left out. No ladies. Finna bake some biscuits now.
Right.
Right, go ahead.
And to be cooks.
See? Told you. Go ahead.
And be bakers.
Told you, bake some biscuits.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
And he will take your fields and your vineyards.
Yes.
And your olive yards.
Man, come on now. You go ahead.
Even the best of them.
You know what I'm saying when I'm reading this? Man, leave us something.
Right.
So what you witnessing is oppression. You're going to have an oppressive king, just like all the other nations, because this is what you desire, right? You done took my sons and daughters. You done made them army men, and you done got them cooking and baking. You know, you taking the vineyards and the olive yards, and now you taking my servants. You know, and you using all this stuff for yourself.
Right.
Man, give me something. Go ahead.
And give them to his servants.
Look at that. So you know what's happening? You got a hierarchy, which is what we got today. Huh? You got a king, you got his servants, and these are the ones that's living good. This is the minority. And look who's doing all of the work. The majority. Look who's doing all the work in this system. Look who's doing all the work today. You got 300 people ruling everything.
Right.
You got 6 billion or something doing the most of the work. Capitalism. Feudalism. It still reigns. This is Babylon's system. The minority take everything and they benefit off the work on the back of the majority.
Right.
And you know what the majority doing? They crying out. Just like I said, give me something. I'm just reading this. I'm like, give me something. But that's what's happening. Go ahead.
15. And he will take the tenth of your seeds and of your vineyards and give to his officers
Look
and
at that.
to his servants.
He taking the tenth of your stuff and giving it to his. Why can't you pay him out of your abundance, King?
Right.
Yours is better. I can use yours and keep mine. This is violence. This is robbery. This is what the Lord is not cool with. This is why he's telling you, listen, this is what type of king you're going to have. Right now, it ain't like that. So this is a pivotal point in their history. It's not like that right now for them. But as soon as they say the word, this is what's going to happen. Go ahead.
Right. And he will take your manservants and your maidservants and your goodliest young men and your asses and put them to his work.
That's right. So he's going to take the best of the best, the creme de la creme of yours, and he's going to use it for himself and for his benefit. He's going to get richer, and guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to get poorer.
Right.
I took your money maker. All right? What do you have left? Go ahead.
17. And he will take the tenth of your sheep.
And you know why he telling them? Because this is what all of the rest of the nations do.
Right.
You wanted a king like all of the rest of the nations. This is how they kings are. This is how it's going to be for you if you accept this way. This is why Samuel was tripping. Right? Go ahead.
17. He will take the tenth of your sheep, and ye shall be his servants. And ye shall cry out in that day because of your king, which ye shall have chosen you, and Yahuwah will not hear you in that day.
Look at that. So you going to cry out. Why do people cry out? Because they being afflicted, because they being oppressed, right? Oppression making a wise man mad.
Right.
So you crying out to me now, and guess what he's saying? You speaking on deaf ears.
Right.
I'm not hearing you. Oppression. This is what you want. So we giving up a righteous nation to become like everybody else. All right, let's go to 1 Kings 12. Even our best kings, this happened. They was oppressors. 1 Kings 12, we're going to read 1 through 5. This dealing with King Solomon. The wealthiest man in the Bible. Watch what happened. Go ahead.
And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Yasharal were to come to Shechem to make him king.
Right. So Rehoboam, that's Solomon's son. All right. Go ahead. So it's time for him to become king now. All right. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of King Solomon, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt.
Right, until Solomon died. Go ahead.
That they sent and called him.
What?
And Jeroboam and all the congregation of Yasharal came and spake unto Jeroboam, saying,
They spake unto Rehoboam. They speaking unto Solomon's son. Right, because he the king. Right, what they say, though?
Thy father make our yokes grievous.
Look at that. Your father, his father is Solomon. Your father made our bondage grievous. What that mean? That mean he afflicted us and he oppressed us.
Right.
He was the type of king that we was reading about in 1 Samuel.
Right.
Taken from all ours, even though the nation was thriving, it still wasn't like it was when Yahuwah was king.
Right.
He made the people. This is the testimony of the people. He made our yoke grievous. Right? That's an oppressor. So what's happening is Israel has went from a righteous nation. You starting to become everybody else. Go ahead.
4. Thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore, make thou the grievous service of thy father and his heavy yoke which he put upon us lighter, and we will serve thee.
Well, that's another pivotal point in history, in Israel's history. The nation is still united at this point. And all of Israel, the United Kingdom, is coming to Rehoboam, Solomon's son, and they telling them how grievous that Solomon made the yoke. They say, won't you make it lighter? Won't you ease our affliction and our oppression and our burden? So right now he got a choice to make.
Right.
He can choose the ways of righteousness, or he can continue on the path to how it is. Matter of fact, he said, and they said, if you do that, we'll serve you. The kingdom will stay united. He said, we'll serve you. Go ahead.
5. And he said unto them, depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed.
Right, so he said, give me 3 days to think about it, come back, and I'll let you know what happened. Anyway, long story short, he told them, my father did this, but I'm going to make your burden worse.
Right.
I'm going to make your affliction worse, and the kingdom split. So what you have is Israel is becoming the same as all of the nations around them. We left off the path of righteousness. So you know what's going to happen to Israel? I got to take you down too, just like I took down just like I took down Egypt, just like I took down Assyria, just like I took down Nineveh, just like I took down Babylon. I got to take you down too. You the same. My throne is established in righteousness. So I got to take you down too. Right? Let's go to Jeremiah 22. We're just going to get a quick whiff of that. See what was going on even further on into this thing. Jeremiah 22, you can pick me up at verse 1. Jeremiah 22, verse 1. Go ahead.
Thus saith Yahuwah.
Yes.
Go down to the house of the king of Judah.
What you mean?
And speak there this word.
So who is he going to? The king. All right, the leader, the one who got ability to make decisions. All right, go ahead.
And say,
What?
Hear the word of thy Elohim, O king of Judah, that sitteth upon the throne of David, thou and thy servants and thy people that enter in by these gates. Thus saith Yahuwah,
What?
execute ye judgments and righteousness.
Now, why would he have to tell them to do that if they were already doing it? We got a problem in the land. I'm going to give you one more chance. This is what I need you to do. He sent the prophet. All right? He spoke this by the mouth of the prophet. Go down to the kings and tell them this. Execute judgment and just so the nation can stand. Go ahead.
And deliver the spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor.
What you mean deliver the spoil out of the hand of the oppressor?
And do no wrong.
Let's see where something right quick. Go to hold your spot. Go to Proverbs 31, verse 8. He said, deliver the spoil.
I'm sorry, Proverbs 31 at
Verse 8.
31.
Proverbs 31, verses 8 and 9. Go ahead.
Open thy mouth for the dumb, in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction.
Right. That's somebody that's being oppressed that can't speak up for themselves. Look what he's telling you to do. Open your mouth. Say something. What he said, don't just let that wickedness prevail. Open your mouth for the dumb. The dumb is the one that can't speak. They can't speak for themselves. Huh? He said, basically, you taking up their cause. You delivering them. Go ahead.
Open thy mouth, judge righteously.
See that? This is what he's requiring of his people, that so that his people can be like him. Open your mouth. Say something for somebody that can't speak for themselves. Open thy mouth, judge what?
Righteously.
And
plead the cause of the poor and needy.
Plead the cause of the poor and needy. So don't just sit back and let evil perpetrate and keep going, right? Say something about it. The reproaches of the weak fall on the strong. Go back to that Jeremiah 22. Pick me up at verse 3 again. Go ahead.
Thus saith Yahuwah.
What did he say?
Execute ye judgment and righteousness.
Execute judgment. And he always telling the people about judgment, righteous judgment, right? Justice. Things we don't know nothing about.
Right.
Right? Justice, you treat everybody the same. That's equity. In his society, nobody goes with that's equity. It's equality. Now, some people gonna have more than others, but nobody is lacking. Ain't no societies like that. That's why they would have been like, man, how this nation so righteous? Got law so right, God so near. But now, the contrary. Go ahead.
And deliver the spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor.
That's right. Deliver the spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor. Take advantage of them. They prey on the weak. What he telling you to do is take up for them. All right? But you know what's going to happen? This is what's going to get you off. Because the wicked, they don't like for the righteous to say something about their wickedness.
Right.
And when you do, they're going to find a way to get rid of you. This is what happened to Yeshua. He was speaking up and taking up for the needy, the fatherless, the widow, and the rulers, the elite. And they hated it, and they hated him. He was condemning their actions. He was opening his mouth and pleading the cause, and they were hating it. And they always tried to find a way to kill him. Always tried to find a way to trip him up. Ain't nothing changed. Go ahead.
Do no wrong. Do no violence to the stranger.
Yes, sir.
To the fatherless, nor the widow,
Uh-huh.
neither shed innocent blood in this place.
What happened?
For if ye do this thing,
Yes,
indeed, then shall there enter in by the gates of this house kings sitting upon the throne of David.
Look at that. This city would have lasted forever. If you do this city is going to remain. Go ahead.
Riding in chariots and on horses, he and his servants and his people.
Yes.
But if ye will not hear these words,
What's going to happen?
I swear by myself,
Oh,
saith
my-
Yahuwah,
What you say?
that this house shall become a desolation.
And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. On more than one occasion. Under the hand of Nebuchadnezzar and in 70 AD. Same thing. All right, go ahead.
For thus saith Yahuwah unto the kings of the house of Judah, Thou art Gilead unto me, and the head of Lebanon. Yet surely I will make thee a wilderness, and the cities which are not inhabited.
All right, let's drop down to verse 13. Watch what he's going to say to him. Go ahead.
Woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness.
You see that? This is what's happening still. This is what the nations do. They build their houses. What you mean with unrighteousness? Go ahead.
And his chambers by wrong.
His chambers by wrong. Go ahead.
That uses his neighbor's service without wages.
What is this got to do with religion? We're trying to find out how to get more spiritual.
Right.
God is everywhere. He's in day-to-day life. Normal social order, he's there. He's seeing it. He condemning them right now for the wrong that they're doing. Look what he said. You say, woe to him that builded his house by unrighteousness and his chambers by wrong. What's that? You use your neighbor's service without wages. Didn't he tell you this the kind of king you're going to have? You use your neighbor's service without wages and
giveth him not for his work.
You don't want to pay him what's right and what's just. Go ahead, it's more. This is the reason the city got took down, right?
Right.
This is the reason you'll get taken down. What else?
14. That saith, I will build me a wide house and large chambers.
You know, because we still, the mindset, right? Only thing we worried about is increasing. Skip how we got to get it. The Lord letting you know, no. You can't, you got to get things right. I'm not worried about how I got to get it. What you mean you ain't worried? You better be worried about how you got to get it. He say, woe to them that build this house with unrighteousness. That say, I will build me a wide and a large chamber. Go ahead.
And cutteth him out a window, and it is sealed with cedar and painted with vermilion. Mm-hmm. Thou shalt reign, because thou closest thyself in cedar.
Right, you should reign basically because of what you have, right? What else?
Did not thy father eat and drink and do judgment and justice? And then it was well with him.
That's King David. Go ahead.
He judged the cause of the poor and needy.
Yes.
Then it was well with him.
Yes.
Was not this?
See, that's just what he's saying. That's all we got to do. It was well with King David. He judged the cause of the poor and the needy. The nation kind of thrived. Right? He said, and it was well with him. He judged the cause, right? And it was well with him. Go ahead.
Was not this to know me, saith Yahuwah?
See, this is to know me. This is how you know me. It's more. All of this, my point is, it's more than about religious rituals. That's it. That's because that's what we think the truth is. The ritualistic part. You can keep Sabbath, you can keep feast days, you can keep dietary law, you can wear fringes, and you still can be a dirty, rotten citizen. You still could be an oppressor.
Right.
You still can be a robber. You still could be a cheat. You still could be a scam artist. You're a good Sabbath day keeping scam artist. You a straight up fraud, dietary, clean eating fraud. Huh?
Right, exactly.
You keep all of them feasts, but you don't help out nobody in need. The point is, it's always been about more than the religious portion of the law. See, when he ain't really condemning them about not keeping the Sabbath. He coming back to the affliction and oppression that you causing, the injustice that you causing throughout society. He told them, if you do right, the kingdom will be built for good. Nations gonna come to you. They want to, because you'll be the model kingdom. No, we don't want that. Give me that oppression.
Right.
Go ahead.
17. But thine eyes and thy heart are not but for thy covetousness.
See, and you got a little bit of freedom over here in this captivity. You got to Pay attention to what your heart and your mind go after. Covetousness calls you to treat and try to beat and cheat your neighbor. And covetousness is, he started the commandments and ended the commandments with thou shalt not covet.
Right.
Man, you working the mess out of me. I need that Sabbath off. Ain't nothing. It's my society. Righteous society, Sabbath day will be off. Nobody have to worry about it. What else?
And for to shed innocent blood, and for oppression, and for violence to do it.
What happened?
18. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah concerning Jehoiakim the son of Josiah.
No, that's good. Back up to Jeremiah 6 right quick. I'm finna escape. I just want you to see what was happening. A lot of us had the same mentality. When your mind is constantly stuck and focused on increase, this is the mentality that you've adopted, the mentality of the nations. Verse 6, I just want to go right here into it. He talking about Jerusalem again. Watch what he say about the city. Go ahead.
For thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, saith, hew down trees and cast a mount against Jerusalem.
Cast them out against Jerusalem.
This is the city to be visited. She is wholly oppressed in the midst of her.
That means the city, everybody in the city is got the ways of oppression. He said the city is wholly given to oppression. And he said, you know what? This city got to be visited. That means he got to visit it. That's why he said, hewn down the tree. That means cut it down. That means he's finna destroy the city. Because you've become the same thing as the rest of the nation.
Right.
You become the same thing. There's no difference. So I took them down. I got to take you down too. Let's see why. 1 Timothy 6. I got to cut it. I feel it. Verse 6. Go ahead.
But godliness with contentment is great gain.
And that's what the people ain't worried about. We worried about great gain. I can get great gain and then I can get godliness. Not likely. Godliness with contentment is great gain, yes, sir.
For we brought nothing into this world.
Everybody forget that. You brought nothing into this world. Go ahead.
And it is certain we can carry nothing out.
So knowing these boundaries, right? The boundary is you brought nothing in this world and you can take nothing out. The best thing you can do is hearken to Yahuwah. Or hearken to the Most High Yah. Or hearken to the Lord. That's the best thing you can do, which is to treat everybody with equality.
Right.
With justice. Is right. Because this is what's going to be good for you. Because if not, just like I take these nations down, I got to take you down too. Because we're going to see his throne is established in righteousness. And if he righteous, he got to bring judgment in on wickedness, no matter where it's at, no matter who's giving it out. Go ahead.
8. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. But that they will be rich, fall into temptation.
That's right. See, he said, as long as you got food and raiment, just chill out. Be content. You're doing okay. Because the ones that desire to be rich, he said, you're going to fall into a trap. Temptations. Go ahead.
And a snare. And into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
Which do what?
Drown men in destruction and perdition.
Well, why are they like this?
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
You see that? The love of money, increase, and gain. That's the root. That's the root of why you beat and cheat. That's why the people don't pay you what you worth. Love that money. If I take more from you, it's more for me. If I don't pay you every day, it's more for me. I love this money. You're supposed to love thy neighbors thyself. But really that sound good, that's religious. I love this money.
Right.
This is better. But in the eyes of the Lord, it's not better. That's unjust. That's unright. Go ahead.
Which while some covet after, they have erred from the faith.
You see that? You see how coveting after money can make you err from the faith? Because instead of treating your brother as an equal, your sister as an equal, you downgrade them. You put a stumbling block in their way so they can take your. You know you wiser than them. You know you can trick them out of money.
Right.
So you've been doing this since a child, since childhood. You know children do this. They deceive. They play on the weak or pray to get what they want from them too.
Right.
We've been doing this since elementary. Huh? I really do want that G.I. Joe. But it's my brother. He got it. It's his. Man, won't you trade me that G.I. Joe for this bag of chips? 25-cent bag, too. You hear me? I'm beating you and cheating. You know, the person that don't know no better, your brother he just like you for who you are, okay. He just doing it to please you. Mm-hmm. But look at your mentality. You wiser. You know full well what you're doing. You taking advantage, right? That's what he mean. You love that game so much you take advantage of the brother. You're not in the faith. That's not of the Lord. That's not none of his way, right? That's unrighteous. That's unjust. And truth be told, that's the mentality of most people. Put that in you. That's the mentality of most people. You learn that from the world. See, you can keep Shabbats and be like that. You can keep the dietary law to the T. You still can be like this on the inside. And you know what happened if you like this? He told you to speak up for the cause of the poor, the needy, the stranger. You're going to keep your mouth closed.
Right.
You got power to help them out. Man, if I say something, that's going to hit my pocket. I'm going to be quiet. The gospel look a little different in real life. People setting up all these unjust laws. If all the people that consider themselves righteous start speaking out against these works of darkness, you can make some change. Mm-hmm. You're going to be persecuted, though, but the book already told you that. But some change, that's the only way change is going to happen. Other than that, wickedness is going to still keep on reigning. The righteous people that consider themselves righteous is content with what they got on earth right now. We ain't content with ushering in the kingdom. In order to usher in the kingdom, we got to get rid of these works of darkness. In order to get rid of these works of darkness, we got to start exposing them. It's evil when these people give a 4-month-old baby 5, 6, 7, 8 shots, knowing it's shots full of poison. That's evil. Right. And you know what else evil? When the people that's righteous, they got a voice and they don't say nothing about it. That's evil. And you know, the mama don't know no better. So the doctors, they take full advantage of her. But you know what happened? These doctors, these pharmaceutical companies, they just committed murder. And ain't nobody saying nothing. Oh, it ain't my baby. It might be next. Huh? It might be next. But everybody's still worried about unimportant issues. Really? Religion. You got to turn religion into real life. We got to see the Most High in real life, and so we can take on his ways. If not, we just going to be scribes and Pharisees. When Paul said, we wrestle against spiritual wickedness in high places, that's what he's talking about. You can't even sue the pharmaceutical company. Right. They got laws. You can't sue. You know, why can't I sue you? If your serum is right, if it's healthy, what's the problem? If it don't cause malpractice, why can't we sue you when malpractice occur? We know you're a murderer. So you know what's going to happen? Wickedness is going to keep going forward. So they're going to get a baby 7 shots when he's 4 years old, when he's 4 months old. By the time he's 4, you know how many he's going to have? 22. Mm-hmm. Nothing but poison. And you know, the people that's uneducated, they don't know no better. The people that's educated, they don't know no better. Ain't nobody looking up these shots to see is poison in these things. They going with it. It's only a few people that speak up, right? I seen one poster board. I was just running West Texas route. It's a doctor, shocked me. He said he had a billboard. He had his name and everything. He said, on the billboard, shots cause autism. I said, ooh, they gonna get him, right? But he ain't afraid.
Right.
But what's happening with the people that consider themselves righteous, we too busy bickering over how good you kept the Shabbat or didn't keep it.
Right.
And guess who baby getting shots? Yours. Man, I'm a preacher, ain't no politician. We dealing with real life here. You ain't got to be no politician to speak out.
Right.
I ain't going to say nothing. They shot him down unjustly. We know Israel, we deserve that. And if you don't be quiet with that, we don't want to hear that no more. We want to hear you say something about them unjustly doing it. Right? Anyway, I done got out. Where we at?
10, end of 10.
Man, that's good. I'm finna close this thing out. Go to Psalms 89. The only thing we too religious and not even religious. It's the truth. We ain't even good at it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Too religious and we ain't even good at it. You gotta learn how the Most High really is, man. Verse 14. Go ahead.
Justice and judgment are the habitation of my throne. Mercy.
Now, what's the habitation of his throne? Righteous judgment and justice. When all of that evil and stuff is circulating, justice can't enter. What it say Isaiah 59 and 14. So we got to get rid of that wickedness so that judgment and justice can enter in. And the only reason the people is like this is for $1.
Right.
It's for $1. It's for increase. I'm going to show you something Jesus said.
Finish this.
Go ahead and finish that. Yes, sir.
Mercy and truth shall go before thy face.
Whoa. It's the kingdom of God. That's what it look like. Mercy and truth. Judgment and righteousness. So we got to get rid of this stuff. He told you that's righteous to reprove the unworks of darkness. How are you going to tell darkness to reprove darkness? And the sad thing about it, darkness doing more work than the light. They reproving more darkness than the children of light. Children of light is too busy in a fight with each other for nothingness.
Right.
But you know what? Maybe, we just don't see God in real life like this. That's why we fight and bicker over non-important issues. Luke 21. Verse 34. But don't worry. Woe to them that build a city with blood. It's coming down. Verse 34. We going. Verse 34. Last one. Go ahead. One more after this. Go ahead.
And take heed to yourself.
This is what Christ is saying. Take heed, right? That's a warning. Pay attention to yourself, yes.
Lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life.
Look at that. That's where we at. This is what the saints said. You overcome with the problems of the world. Your heart is overtaken by mammon and material gain. That's surviving. That's what that is. If this ain't nothing, why is he warning us about it? Because it's the main thing to take you away. This is why you pollute the Shabbat. It's about your gain. Take heed. Let's say any time during your walk, your heart be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and the cares of this life. And what'll happen?
And so that day come upon you unawares.
So that day of the Lord come upon you and you unaware. And guess what happened? Every time it's come up, the day of the Lord don't come upon somebody, they ain't been aware. They wasn't ready. The day of the Lord deal with judgment. He judging you for what you've done. He judged all these nations. They experienced the day of the Lord. He took down their kingdom. They wasn't ready. And they ain't telling you, you pay attention, lest that happen to you. Right? Revelations 14. I talked enough. Revelations 14. Verse 12. Revelations 14 and 12. Hearken to the scripture.
Here is the patience of the saints.
Saints got to have patience because you're going to go through the real ones. You're going to go through some stuff. You got to have the patience is so that you can endure to the end. Don't be overcharged with the problems of this life. All right, go ahead.
Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahuwah.
And he talking about all of that, all of those commandments that he gave you. Even the one that teach you, don't put a stumbling block in front of your neighbor. Give them their stuff back. Don't beat them. Don't cheat them. Right? All of this, take up for the fatherless and the widow. And that's you. That's your plot now. That's part of the commandments, just like the Sabbath feast and fringes.
Right.
We leave off one to pick up, but you know what he told them? The weightier matters of the law, you leave off that. Judgment, mercy, and faith. Go ahead. That's us too. That's what we do. As long as we can get that religious portion, kind of, sort of, under our belt. Skip that mercy. Skip that faith. Skip that judgment.
Right.
But he said these are the weightier matters. Because these things you encounter on an everyday basis. Here's the patience of the saints. They that keep the commandments of God.
And the faith of Yahusha.
And the faith of Yahusha. And the faith of Jesus. The faith of Christ. The faith of the Mashiach. So that's what the saints do. To the end, too. To the end. So I hope we got some type of understanding. Just know that righteousness is what truly exalts a nation.
Right.
Everybody think it's wickedness. But those nations are only temporary. Righteousness is what really exalts. So I hope we got some understanding in Yeshua's name. And I thank you for your time. Amen. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.